pressure meter start to increase. Vehicle information panel. While engine turning, check correct operation of all tools and meters. Four. Brake checks. Air brake vehicles. Make sure that air filter is not blocked and whether there is oil with the outlet air. Maybe there is a problem with the compressor. The mechanic must check this matter. Do not forget to close taps after that. Check that there is an increase on air pressure meter after turning the engine on. This must take less than 3 minutes. Note loss of air pressure at the last stop, and if the loss is more than 1 kPa, there may be a problem that needs help from the mechanic. Low pressure emergency system. Turn off the engine and reduce air pressure by pressing on brakes pedal. Check trailer brakes. Check whether air hoses are damaged, leaky and properly connected with the tractor. Hydraulic brake vehicles. Press brakes pedal down firmly 3 times for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, if you feel that brakes are sink, that means there is leakage in the system. These leaks must be repaired before driving. Five. Check connection of trailers and semi-trailers. Check the proper connection by moving back and forth gently to make sure that there is no loose in the rotating disc joint. Check that trailer legs have been stored and storing handle placed away. Check that all electrical wires are correctly tied and trailer lights and indicators are working correctly. 6. Check load installation. Check by observation and by using all mirrors that the load is in a safe position. At your next stop, conduct quick check around the vehicle. Check tire temperature and air pressure in it and in brake drums. Look for any liquids leakage that may become clearly visible. At each stop, repeat these checks. Two. Vehicle control skills. 1. Vehicle driving skills. Using of steering wheel. Steering of a big vehicle needs more knowledge and skill than driving of light vehicle such as car. Therefore, follow these recommendations. Grip on steering wheel. Grip steering wheel firmly with both hands, that when hitting sidewalk edge or a pit, you may lose control on steering wheel if you do not grasp it with both hands. When turning or U-turning with a vehicle, usually rear wheels follow shorter path than the front ones. This is called cutting to the inside. As the length of vehicle and turning unit increases, cutting to the inside will be greater. When approaching left turn, move steering wheel to the right side of the lane to decrease interference with the coming traffic motion. When approaching right turn, move the steering wheel to the left side of the lane to make sure that wheels remain on the road surface. Cutting to the inside. When approaching left turn, move steering wheel to the right side of the lane to decrease interference with the coming traffic motion. When approaching right turn, move steering wheel to the left side of the lane to make sure that wheels remain on the road surface. Cutting to the outside. Trailer rear wheel's path differs with vehicle speed. At high speed, rear wheels direct to the outside. If there is edge for the curve, rear wheels may hit the edge and cause vehicle overturn. Turning radius of all heavy vehicles will be different. Make sure that you are understanding the area required for acute turning of the vehicle you drive, and carry out turning according to dimensions of the vehicle you drive. Returning backward, reversing. When reversing the vehicle with trailer, you have to use the correct method. Remember that the trailer moves opposite to the direction of steering wheel. Driving trainer will recommend you the proper driving method for the type of vehicle you drive. Reversing in narrow areas such as warehouse, construction site or loading platform may need repositing of the vehicle several times. Do not worry about this, because you are driving a big vehicle that has limited turning capabilities more than small vehicles. Dealing with brakes. Press gradually on brakes at the beginning of stop and reduce pressing when the vehicle decelerates to avoid vibration and rebound, and then press it again to hold the vehicle. With heavier load, stopping will be harder and the need for longer distance to stop. You have to brake early and strongly with the observation of air pressure in the brakes. Two, skills of using mirrors. Using of mirrors. Use all mirrors to check traffic motion at the side and rear view. When looking at mirrors, do not look more than 1 second each time, because you will lose front vision at this time. When driving at 60 km per hour, you will move about 17 meters per 1 second, and at 90 km per hour, you will move 25 meters per 1 second. Therefore, peep quickly from all mirrors and return looking at the road in front of you, and understand what you see in the mirrors and use it to check performance of your tires, and that your trailer is straight behind you and is not directed to one side. Using of mirrors at the blind spot. You need to check mirrors often when overtaking vehicles, but there are some blocked or blind spots that mirrors cannot help you within it. There are also other ranges out of mirror scope, where it is difficult to see smaller vehicles just behind you and those at the level of the car beside you. And if you are using mirrors all the time, you may see smaller vehicles before they move to blind spots, and you will know that they are present there. Using of mirrors when turning. When turning left, check mirrors to make sure that you will not collide with any fixed vehicle stopping near from the street intersection you want to enter to. Remember to give chance to the cutting to the inside for the rear of your vehicle. When turning right, use your right mirror and make sure that rear wheels are not ascending to the edge of the sidewalk, collide with a post or hit a stopped car. Also, make sure accurately that there is no car trying to overtake you at the right side. Using of mirrors when merging. When you are about to merge, use your mirrors to make sure that you have a sufficient range to enter in the new lane. May cars behind you has accelerated or changed their lanes so that there may not be a range for your motion. 3. Skills of dealing with safety distances. Front safety distance. Heavy vehicles need greater distance to stop than small vehicles. So it is necessary to leave 3 seconds distance at least in the front of your vehicle when driving at low speed, and more than 5 seconds when driving at 80 km per hour. To calculate the seconds between you and the vehicle in front of you, count seconds when this vehicle passes a fixed object, and stop counting when the nose of your car reaches the same object. If you are not with sufficient seconds behind the vehicle in front of you, reduce the speed and count the required seconds by saying these words to yourself slowly: 1001, 1002, 1003. Front safety distance. Decelerate gradually if this is safe, which will encourage other drivers to overtake. When turning, merging, or changing lanes, avoid quick change of speed. Reduce speed gradually and give signals early. Increase safety distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. Widening the range in front of you reduces risk of sudden changes of speed and steering. Do not accelerate because tailgaters tend to remain behind you, so low speed is more safer. Four. Skills of dealing with lanes. Area around heavy vehicle is very important at turns, and because of cutting to the inside, heavy vehicles often hit vehicles and other objects at the sides at turns. If you want to turn to your lane after overtaking another vehicle, the additional length of your heavy vehicle makes it difficult for you to decide whether it is possible to change lanes safely. Turns to the right. Heavy vehicle drivers need to start turning with a distance at the intersection longer than with the car. By this way, rear wheels will not descend on the edge of the sidewalk. If your vehicle is longer, you have to drive a longer distance at the intersection before start in turning. Remember the length of your vehicle. Be careful of the coming traffic motion in the street you turn in. Pay attention to the cutting to the inside at the rear of your vehicle, and use your right mirror to make sure that you will pass safely at columns, posts, and cars stopped at your right. Turns to the left. Make sure that your vehicle is near enough from the middle of the intersection before start turning to give chance to the cutting to the inside from the rear of your vehicle, noting that rear part of your vehicle may hit cars waiting at the intersection, and as long as your vehicle, you have to give greater range for the cutting to the inside. Use your left mirror to check traffic motion that may overtake at your left, and pay attention that if your vehicle is loaded, you will be slower than if it is empty. Rules and obligations of vehicle load and weight. Load must be placed, organized, arranged, fixed and tied safely on the vehicle so that it is not subject to move or fall. In particular, the following must be taken into consideration: not lead to risk to persons or cause damage to public or private properties, not cause noise, and nothing flying or emitting from it that harm public health or environment or bothering pedestrians, not obstruct drivers' vision or block traffic lights and signals, direction signals, vehicle lights, light reflector or number plates, not subject vehicle balance or its driving to risk. Maximum height of any motor vehicle including the load and any projection must not exceed 4.2 meters from road surface. Maximum width of any motor vehicle, including the load and any projection, must not exceed 2.6 meters. In emergency cases that need to exceed the height and width of vehicles or load mentioned above, a written permit must be obtained from traffic department before vehicle moving. For motor vehicles with 3-ton load or more, its total weight and allowed number of passengers must be written on its body in a visible place. It is prohibited to extend the load after the front part of the car more than 1 meter or more than 2 meters after rear part of the vehicle. If it is impossible to divide the transferred materials and they are extended more than the above-mentioned length, a written permit must be obtained from the traffic department. It is prohibited to make any additions to transport car, truck, box for the purpose of obtaining an increase in the dimensions, specifications, whether in the length, width, or height. Buses. Bus driver must pay attention to the following. Pay attention to passengers and make sure that all passengers have seats, and watch passengers in the mirrors while getting on and off, and make sure of safety of all passengers. Make sure of closing doors before moving, and you are prohibited to take on board passengers more than the number specified for the bus. Do not speak with passengers during the trip. Commit with working hours and trip times, and there is no need to compensate time delay by increasing the speed. Stopping, getting on and off must be carried out at the allocated places. Make sure of closing luggage compartment doors by the driver and do not depend on passenger in this regard. Rules and obligations of passenger transportation. It is prohibited to transport passengers in any vehicle unequipped with seats or allocated for transfer of passengers. It is prohibited for any vehicle while moving to carry any person on the ladder, at the rear or on the roof except by a written permit from the licensing authority. It is prohibited for any driver of passenger car, taxi, rent car for tourists, limousine, to transfer a number of passengers exceeds the allowed number to transport and determined in the registration certificate. It is prohibited for the driver of passenger car to be occupied by talking to any passenger or allowed to anyone to sit or stand beside him while moving with the vehicle.